I'm Terry Cardullo. Welcome to another special edition of Talking with Terry TV. I love connecting with people and getting them excited to follow their dreams, elevate their potential in life, business, and beyond. That's why I hosted a very special live event called Breaking Beyond, where I brought in 4 dynamic guests to share their stories, their struggles, their inspirations. Here is Leigh Keckner. Enjoy, my friends. All right, well, I want to introduce our next guest, and hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, you're in for quite the treat. Influencer Leigh Keckner flew here from Hollywood, California to be with us today. She is the CEO and founder of I Got You Foundation. She's a badass spiritual teacher, empowerment coach, sought-after speaker. Leigh partnered with Deepak Chopra as his parenting expert and worked with Oprah Winfrey on her very first show, her only reality show, which was Your Own Show, and co-executive produced the Mindfulness Retreat film with Deepak Chopra. Leigh has also been immersed in the Hollywood scene for decades. Fun fact, she dated Vin Diesel from the Fast and the Furious, Charles Barkley, a former basketball star, and before settling down with a 22-year marriage with actor David Koechner and having 5 kids. You may know her was banned from the movie Anchorman Whammy or Todd Packer from The Office. Leigh has appeared in films such as Semi-Pro, The Comebacks, Wild Girls Gone, TV shows Super Donuts, and Combat Missions. Leigh describes herself as a brilliant light, temporarily housed in a pretty cute earth suit. Her mission is to spread love. Her purpose is to shine her light. Leigh Keckner is currently launching her nonprofit, writing her first book, Owner Shit. Moved from blame to bliss, victim to warrior, fear to love. She resides in the city of Angels with her 5 children, 3 dogs, and was banned David close by. Let's put a warm welcome to Leigh Keckner. It's a delight to have you. Oh my goodness, we were talking the other day and you shared just a little bit about your childhood and your upbringing, which was really powerful, and I want to share. Let's start there and then we can start going through, because we have a lot to unpack today, girl.
I love unpacking. So what I really love is that every single one of us in this room has a childhood story. Why? Because we're raised by humans, right? Who try their best. A lot of times, especially our parents and their parents, they take what was passed down to them, whether it was abuse, neglect, whatever it is, whatever bag of nuts we all got them. And I just think that it's a really beautiful thing to recognize when somebody says, this happened to my child, or this happened to me, and there's all this shame. It happened to everyone else too. We all went through the same stuff with different words that basically set us up to feel like I'm not enough, I don't matter, why bother, kind of thing that we are here to overcome. So from my childhood story, and I learned everything that I talk about or teach on me. I kind of observe me, and what the hell am I acting crazy for? What's going on inside me and all that. So from my childhood, my mother was mentally ill and locked behind her bedroom door. And I was kind of used to it until this one time I got into a fist fight with 2 boys in 2nd grade, and I hauled ass home and was banging on my mom's door crying so hard, please let me in, please let me in, like that, you know, when you can't even talk and you're just dripping with snot and tears. And I just would stop and listen, and the door handle was locked, which I was used to, but then I kept pounding, and finally I heard the familiar words, go away, I'm sleeping. And that was the one time I really needed her. And from that moment, I walked into the bathroom, and I got a hot towel. I was wiping off. Well, I just got my ear pierced, too, and the guy hit me in the ear, and blood was coming down from there. And I was wiping off my snot and everything, and I was looking at myself, and I was like, wow, I'm not even good enough for my own mom to get out of bed. I don't matter at all. And then I just kept looking at myself in the mirror, and I go, you know what? I don't need her. I don't need anyone. I got myself. I don't need anyone. All right, and I wiped my face off and marched out, and in that moment at 7 years old, I created the story, I'm all alone, and I don't matter. And right in that moment, the armor started growing around my heart. Only for self-protection, right? Because I knew I was on my own, and nobody else was gonna have my back, I had to have it. So I became this tough-ass girl I could beat the shit out of most boys until around 6th grade I stopped. But I just ran fast and hard and protected my friends, and I never cared about anything. And then later I got super drunk and started doing drugs and started making out. And, you know, when I went to therapy, I said, you know, I was kind of a slut when I was in, and she goes, oh gosh, let's let go of that word, because that's a self-judgment. She goes, you wanted so desperately to feel love and to connect with other people, but you didn't know how, because you have this, you know, wall around your heart. And so anyway, it was a wonderful thing to know that we all have a story. It's what we do with it as an adult. So some people aren't even aware that kind of little girl's still alive inside of you. And sometimes you're an adult and you're doing something and then you sabotage it. And you're like, what the hell did I just do that for? Or you overreact to something that's not that big. And that to me is like that little girl reminding me, I'm still here and I still need love. And then that's when you can really go in and just be like, I got you, I'm right here. I'm right here, everything's okay, you're not alone. I'm taking care of you, I'm never leaving you, I'm right here. It's that self-assurance to that tender part of you that wants to hijack you as an adult because it's still alive and kicking. Her, him, her. Yeah. So anyway, my dad beat the shit out of me if I woke my mom up or bugged my mom, and then my mom didn't touch me. And so it really formed, I have to say, I really lived my story awesome of not feeling worthy and partying my ass off. Thought I was having a lot of fun, and then I got tired. You know, I was running so fast and hard, and around 30, I sat down, I was like, all right, God, this isn't going so well. I one day want to get married and have children. This lifestyle is not conducive, but I have no freaking idea what to do. I don't know how to get to the other side. And then I just, for some reason, started praying for my future husband at night. I was like, I know he's out there, God, surround him with angels, love him, I started praying for him. Then I told God exactly what I wanted. I said, you know what, God, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. And here's what I want. I want a guy who's tall, smarter than me, kind-hearted, and funny. And when I meet him, say, this is him. Confirm it so I don't get drunk and screwed up. I wanted to say F it up, but I didn't know if we could. Anyway, I don't want to screw it up. And literally 2 weeks later, I met now he's my husband, but still my beloved. I met him, and I describe it like we started dating, and on the airplane, I was like, oh my gosh, you're here. Oh my God, I've been praying for you. I knew instantly. He just thought I had kind of a cute butt. I'll show you guys later. But really what happened was we started dating, and then I was faced with being vulnerable. I didn't know how. So I started getting drunk and picking fights, and I describe it like he held onto my leg as I flopped around on the ground for a long time. And then when I stopped and I was too tired, he picked me up. And he said, can we go talk to someone? And we went to the therapist, and she immediately said, Leigh, can you come back by yourself? And I was like, screw her, she just wants my money. No, I needed to be there. But from that, I went in, I said, nothing's wrong, I don't know why I'm here. My wall was still up hard. And then she eventually asked me one question. It was like somebody poked something that was so heavy that it just went, poof, and I just started bawling. And then the next session, a week later, I was bawling 4 weeks straight. And I said, am I ever going to be able to talk? And she was like, Leigh, you have 30 years of crying to do. Because I was tough as shit, I never cried. You have 30 years of crying to do. So we doubled up sessions, and eventually I could talk. And then I was just talking to these beautiful ladies during the break that I discovered I was a person I had no idea. I thought I was a tough-ass tomboy. No, I liked glitter and tutus and color and sensitive and kind. So it's just really incredible what we can do with the stories that we create, which are usually caused when we're 7, around that age. And our little brains don't know how to make sense of what's happening, so we create a thought. I'm not good enough. She doesn't care about me. I'm a piece of trash because this is happening to me, right? They're not real. They're not real thoughts. They are when you're little. But then we forget when we become an adult that that's still inside of us unless we go in and love it and heal it. And that is going to sabotage you over and over or keep you from your greatness. And I'm still loving that little girl because I only want to walk in abundance and love now. Do I get an amen to that? Yeah. It's just so awesome to know we're all the same. We all got the same foundation of and good stuff. And then we got to decide, do we want to live in that forever or do we want to pull it out and explore it? Maybe look at that thought when I was 7. Now that I'm a grown-ass woman, I can go, my mother was mentally ill. And that's what happened as I healed myself. I realized, holy hell, she had 6 kids and she couldn't even get out of bed. That's how bad she felt. But I made the story about me. And as an adult, I got to heal my hurts, see her in a new light, have complete compassion, and be with her on her deathbed. And I mean, that is, to me, is the magic of life.
I'm Jeffrey Bowling, owner and jewelry designer at Jeffrey B. Jewelers, Denver's #1 jewelry design studio. And the reason why we're #1 is because of our 3D custom jewelry design. We can show you what your piece is going to look like way before the end product. And this is going to give you the comfort of knowing you get exactly what you want.
He took me over to the computer and we started drawing up exactly what I wanted. And I told my husband, I'm like, Jeffrey B is the person we're going to use.
And the other reason is that all of our gold and our diamonds are ethically sourced. So when you're ready to make that proposal, when you're ready for that legacy piece, go to jeffreyb.com and make an appointment. Because when it's love, it's Jeffrey B.
Well, and you had a pretty known divorce breakup in the public eye, in connection with just everything that was going on in the, there was some addiction in that relationship. Do you want to share a little bit about that transition?
So, yeah, my beloved David, he held a lot of thoughts, too, from his childhood that he didn't matter, and he was actually a really hilarious genius. I mean, just no one's ever made me laugh harder, and I'm a pretty tough laugh. So I was like, he's so great. But he still held a thought that I'm not good enough because his parents always rolled their eyes. Even when he got on Saturday Night Live, his parents were like, New York people went to interview them, and we were there, and we had one kid by then. And they said, oh, you must be so proud. Out of everyone in the nation, only 250 people have gotten a coveted spot on the show. And the mom was like, proud? We're embarrassed. We don't tell anybody he's on that. We think that's smut. And I just watched her put the nail in his coffin and bang it shut. Like he had fought so hard to get this dream he had from Tipton, Missouri of 1,000 people. He made it on the show, and they were embarrassed. And I was just like, oh, lady, do you know the work you just put me in for now by saying that? I'm going to be left with that. Yeah. But anyway, basically, it got the best of him, and he started 17 years into the marriage. We had a kick-ass time, by the way. We had a great run. But 17 years in, he started drinking, and then and that fueled his weeds, right? We all got the same weeds. We could all kill someone. We could all be Mother Teresa, right? It's what we water is what grows. And he was watering it with vodka, that bad thought. And I literally said to him, I said, David, you are watering this weed and it's covering your heart, and soon it's going to go to your brain. He's like, get the hell out of my dressing room. You want to come here and watch a show? That's great. And I was like, oh, things are changing. So because I loved him and I held a belief, you guys, we hold beliefs that the church told us. We hold beliefs that our parents told us. We hold beliefs that we heard something, or none of them are true. And I keep learning this by divorce. I had a little bit of judgment on divorce. I thought, if people really worked hard at it, they could make it work. And then God gave me a person who wouldn't work with me, right? And who actually by the end I didn't even recognize. And finally I had to It's really interesting, all of it. It's so wonderful because it got me so far off my path of who I am, trying to save the man I love and keep my kids together, but you can't save another person ever, especially in addiction. But I had to do it for 6 years, and get on my knees where I could barely eat or sleep. That's how I learned my lessons. It's actually horrible and wonderful.
Well, what was that like? What was that journey like for you to heal? I mean, that was a huge...
Well, first of all, that's a great question because I think this is so important when it's happening. You don't even know because you're in it, right? It just hurts like hell. It's just so much. And I was in it, and then when I had to kick him out, and I was grieving the whole time because I was watching this man that I love. I could no longer even see him in his eyes. But I remember after I kicked him out, and I spent a year of grieving, so every 22 years we did the same holiday, with the same people, everything, right? It was all gone. And I just remember like balled up going, and then realizing I've got to create everything new moving forward. Next year's going to be better. But I remember when I stood up, when I finally was able to stand up, literally, I stood up, and I was like, and I looked down at my feet, and the foundation that I'd been standing on as this guy's wife and the mother of these children, all that, it was gone. But I noticed my feet were firmly planted on the ground. The foundation I thought my life was built on was gone. But that wasn't really who I am or why I'm here. And so literally I looked down and I was like, oh, wow. And I felt up my body and I go, oh, God, what will you have me do now that I am not David Keckner's wife? What am I here to do that I couldn't do if I stayed in that role? And that's where everything shifted. That's where things got good.
Yeah. Well, and you had said that when we were talking that one of your core messages is that within the messiness is the magic. And I love that it's so in alignment with what we speak. So like, how were you able to transform that mess into now what it is your message and your calling?
Great question, lady. I will want to tell you that for a while I was called the Messy and Perfect Life Coach, and the reason was I had a women's group at my home, like neighborhood women come over once a month, and I'd make like cocktails and say, everyone wear white, and then I do something fun, whatever, or give a little message. Well, I kept seeing there was a woman that moved in across the street with like a little kid, and I was like, hi, my name's Leigh. I'm doing a women's group tonight if you want to come 7 p.m. And she didn't come. And then the next month, I'm like, hey, I'm doing that thing tomorrow night if you want to come. She didn't come. So last time I was like, screw it. She came out, I was like, I'm doing it tonight if you want to come, whatever. And I ran in before she could run in. And she came. And she sat in the very back. And everyone was here. And at the end, halfway through, I had just sent my son, my oldest, he was 13 then, to a therapeutic boarding school because I tried so hard to get him all the help he needed, take him to the right people, find the right doctors. And he was just kind of all over the place. And I was so heartbroken because I had to pass my child to someone else because the doctors were like, you're not enough. You're not 24-hour support. He needs more than you can give. But you know how our brains like to beat the shit out of us? My brain was like, who are you? You're not even a mother. You can't even take care of your own kid. So that's all spinning as I'm welcoming people in my house. So I stopped for a minute. And I go, so you guys, my son just left yesterday to therapeutic boarding school. And I started crying so hard for about 5 minutes, and everyone just held space and drank their cocktail. And then when they were done, I wiped my face off, and I go, thank you for that. I had no idea that needed to come out, but thank you. And then I continued the thing, and we had our fun, and little whatever at the end. Everyone left, and she waited, that woman. And she came up to me after, and she goes, the last thing I wanted to do was to come to a beautiful woman's house. I'm not saying that I'm real cute, but she said that. But she said, the last thing I wanted to do was come to a beautiful woman's house, married to a movie star with beautiful children, and realized that I am really a piece of shit. But what I found out is you're messy too. You're messy just like me. And my body lit up, and I realized not only is there magic in the mess where we can learn our greatest treasures of who we are, what we're made of, and everything's happening for us, not to us. The bad shit is the good shit. When you can get kicked in the stomach and go, God, it hurts, I'm going to roll around for 6 months to a year, and then I'm not sure when I stand up. You know what I mean? You can do that. Or you go, I'm getting faster to this. kick in the stomach. Holy hell, that hurt. Let me catch my breath. Okay, number one, I don't want to get that kick ever again. What did I do to create the situation that I got that kick? How can I show up differently to never welcome that kick back in my life? So it's this beautiful thing. I'm writing a book right now called Owning Your Shit, you know? Because if you don't, ownership is you're 100% responsible for your time on the planet. We're all 100% responsible for our experience. So we can't say what's going to happen to us. You know, we have no control what's coming at us. The only thing, and this frees you up from worry, the only thing you have control over is how will I respond to the situation and how will I treat myself as I respond. That's all we got. Yeah. I think that's freeing because we can't control anything else, anybody, except this and how we are with ourselves.
So, segueing into that, how did your I Got You Foundation begin?
So after my divorce, this woman, I had been doing like a lot of online programs and all this stuff, and I created all this content, and this woman reached out to me, and she had just done J-Lo's like latest brand or whatever product. And she goes, I follow you. You need to have your own brand, your lifestyle. You're so real. You share your stuff. You know, everyone. And I was like, all right, I love that. I want to monetize the work I've done. So she created this whole, for free, $25,000 thing that she does. She created this lifestyle brand for me. So I had this beautiful thing in front of me, and I was like, okay, God, I'm going to meditate right now, and then I want you to show me, who do I go to with this? Who's the investors? Who's my tribe? I did my meditation. I opened my eyes, and I thought, or I heard, grab a pen. So I picked up a pen, and God said, I'm just going to say this because I have a super cool connection with God, and because I know that and I listen with an open heart with no judgment or anything else, it's free to come like I'm talking to a friend. So I said, all right, God, I pick up the pen, and God said, push away your lifestyle brand. That's coming. Put that away. You're going to launch a nonprofit. I was like, nonprofit, all right. I Got You Foundation, and I wrote everything down that I got from it, and just a tiny pre-story was, I went through hell in my divorce, and I was a shell of a woman at the end of it. And I got away one weekend to go to this women's thing in Dallas. And at the end of it, I was laying in the bed, and I was so excited. I got to breathe for the first time in 6 years, and I had my kids taken care of in a safe way that I knew, you know, I didn't have to worry. And I was sitting there relaxing, just soaking in what I learned. And then I looked at my computer. I forgot it hadn't changed time. And I looked over there, and I called the front desk. I said, when do I need to leave to get my airplane? And all the anxiety I felt instantly was back. And she said, you have to leave 20 minutes ago. I go, oh my gosh. She goes, I got you. I'll have a car waiting. So I threw my stuff in, and I just threw things in an open bag and turned ass with my thing, and I hit the suitcase on the wall. It broke the wheel off. I take it down. The guy's waiting for me. I'm like, thank you. I throw my bag in. I get in the back, and I go, no, I don't mean to be a here, sir, but I messed up with my time, and if there's any way you could put the pedal to the metal, I'd be super grateful. And he goes, I got you. And he hauled ass. I get out, and I see like a guy over there, like a baggage guy outside that you can check your bags, but it wasn't my airline. And right then, he put my suitcase down. I put my bag over stuff with stuff. I pull it. It flips the suitcase. I forgot about the broken wheel. Everything spills out all over the ground from my purse. And it was like 105 out, and I'm crawling around on the black asphalt, and people are honking. All of a sudden, I see two big feet right here, and I look up the body, and it's the big guy that was behind the other airline thing, and he goes, what airline? And he just picks my suitcase up, and I go, United. And he goes, I got you, and walked me in. Anyway, I had 3 more I got yous, and I made it on the plane. And I was literally crying. I made a joke to the flight attendant when I got on. I said, 2 vodka sodas on 13C. I think it's first class there. And she was like, whatever. And I went and sat down, and then I started reflecting on all of the I got yous. All of those people who were strangers, and there is no such thing as a stranger. All of these earth angels God gave me to say, I got you. I got you. All shapes and sizes, all ethnicities, all ages, gay and straight, all of them said, I got you. And I started crying on the airplane because it was the most tender moment. I was like, I got you as I love you in motion. If somebody has your back, especially strangers, we're never frickin' alone. So anyway, I put my head down and start weeping because I'm so touched by the love and God's goodness. And then this woman's like, excuse me. And I look at the flight attendant. She sets down 2 vodka sodas, and she goes, I got you. I was like, so the next day I'd gone home, and I went out for breakfast, and there was a huge line. I just said to the guy, hey, can I have a coffee, while I wait? He goes, I got you. I was like, all right, God, I hear it, God. I hear it. I get it. This is powerful stuff. Then I went home and did my meditation about my lifestyle brand. And so when he said, you're starting the I Got You, I was like, holy hell. I don't know a thing about nonprofit. But I go, okay. And I wrote down, I got you. I wrote down what he said. I thought after that, like, how am I going to start this? And 2 weeks before, at an E-Women event, I met a woman whose nonprofit is helping women start nonprofits. She lives down the street from me. We liked each other. I called her. We had lunch. She said, I'm going to help you for free, set it up. So I paid all the government stuff and all the setup fees, but she got chills and helped me. So I was like, all right, God, there. I created it. I put $500 in the bank account. Done and done. It's there. And he said, fill it. I said, with who? Like what? So I honed in what it was going to be, this farm-to-table movement, because I saw this farm in LA, and I realized if I could make a blueprint of this farm, and I could make a replicable model and move it all through Los Angeles down to San Diego, where people go down the street from their neighbors to buy strawberries, or they get in dirty together, and they have community events. It's this building community. So anyway, I got super excited, went to some event, saw some guy, and I love this judging a book by its cover business, because, our senses help us really quick try and put things in perspective. This was a black fellow, and he had little corn braids, and he was dressed super cool, and he's like 30. So I was thinking, like, he's a little hip hop. I didn't know, like, is he a rapper? Am I going to dance with him? Like, what's going on? But he goes, what are you into? And I said, oh my God, I'm into the farm-to-table movement. I'm just really excited about bringing community together in nature with the sun and with God and doing good for the planet. He was like, wow, I'm into regenerative farming. I go, awesome. We exchanged info. I forgot about it. So then I said to God, fill it with who? Bing, my cell phone. 4 months later, I pick it up. It's that guy with the braids, Joshua. Said, hey, I'm checking on how your foundation's going. And I said, I'm at a standstill. I don't know what the hell to do. And he goes, send me what you have. I sent it. He said, can you talk today? We met for lunch. And now he is building the platform for me. Not for free. Nothing anymore is for free. It's from the goodness of mission in love and connection. But miracles happen to me constantly because I'm awake to see them. And then that guy said, can I introduce you to my buddy? And bought over this like 22-year-old kid who raised $50 million at UC Davis for whatever he created there. And he wants to help me fundraise because it's going to impact the world, not just California. So I'm just like, holy hell. I could have surrendered to you that long, my whole life, and just ridden in love and freedom before I banged on doors. Who can I reach out to? Who can I get? So to your point, I get excited and go this way and that way. But to your point, my divorce broke me open, allowed me to stand up on shaky legs, allowed me to ask, who am I and what am I here to do? And then when God told me, I didn't say, that. I just made that up in my head. I'm sure it wasn't real. I don't know shit about nonprofit. I said, all right, God, I'll do it. And every time he says the next thing, I say, I'm in till the end. Bring me the next person, I'm in. And that's when it rolls with grace and ease and miracles that blow your mind away from people you would never think you'd ever talk to or be working with. That we're all so deeply connected when we allow ourselves to see each other. It's magical.
And
Did I say the F word?
And I know there are people in this audience that I'm looking at. That I'm like trying to find all the ones I know. That that you're being guided to something greater. And I'm just going to ask you and implore you to listen to it.
And anything that pops up that excites you, and then you go, I'm a piece of shit. I can't do that. Who do I think that's your stupid human self, your little girl who hasn't been loved fully yet, trying to stop you in fear. But listen to the whispers. Listen to the things that light you up. They're not coming to you for no reason. They're coming to you to open them up and bring them to the world. And when you realize it's not about you, it's like coming out here tonight. I was like, God, use me as a conduit of your love. Don't let anything I think I should do come out. Let's do what's needed to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's freedom.
Be in the flow. Be in the flow.
Get the hell out of our heads
Love
and
it.
just centered here.
My goodness, we could be talking to Leigh all day, but I want to go through.
We'll be talking to me all day.
She's going to be sticking around. So let me ask you a couple questions. How do you pick yourself up from in face of defeat?
Now I say thank you. Thank you. God, although this hurts, there's magic in it. Greatness is coming. So let me be fully awake to the message. What was my part? What am I to learn? And how can I use this to be of service? It moves you out of woe is me into the ultimate, which is being of service, because there's nothing more beautiful than that. So everything bad is good. And that's when people are like, well, what's bad? I'm like, nothing. It's all good. It hurts. But when you know there's something precious in there that you get to dig through and explore to receive, and then use that to stand in your power stance, I mean, it's all good.
It's all good. So do you have a saying, a quote, or a mantra that you have that you use?
My morning mantra when my feet hit the ground is, my Lord, my God, allow me to be the woman you created me to be. Let me be of service today, and let me do all of it on the foundation of love. And then I can just go, because I know I'm moving from love and not in any stories or bullshit of life. I also love this Marianne Williamson poem. Can I read it really quick?
Yeah.
This is like, rock star here to me. And it's funny because I think Nelson Mandela got credit for it, but actually Marianne Williamson said it, which I love too. It's kind of cool. She's got old lady eyes. Okay. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Okay? Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within all of us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So when earlier when I was talking to the beauty over there, I was saying, your vulnerability up here is what connects us, because we're all going through the same thing. And when we are vulnerable, when we share our mess, when we know everyone's got it, it's the great equalizer. The first time I went to a Hollywood party, I'm from Kansas, and I was in like Jessica Simpson pumps and Target jeans and a cute shirt from the Gap. You know, I went in, everyone's in Fendi and Gucci, and I walked in, I was like, this is my new playground, all right. And then I thought, everyone in here's hurting, and I can see them. And that's what matters. And that's why I'm friends with them, not because of my status or what I wear or what I own, because I see them, and that's all truly what we want. Beautiful. Is to be seen and know we matter.
Last piece of advice to the audience.
Last piece of advice. Love yourself. Love yourself. Anything you would do for someone that's hurting, do for yourself first. Any piece of advice you would give to someone, do for yourself. You make time for other people, make it for yourself. The most important relationship you are here for is you. You've been giving this direct link to God, put in a human earth suit with a crazy-ass spinning mind that spins 65 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are negative and the same ones as yesterday. So we're walking zombies. It's our job to remember who we are, to connect here, and to love ourselves. You can only be loved as much as you love yourself. You can only receive the abundance as much as you love yourself. So that's the key to life and to being connected, and appreciation, gratitude, all of those are great things. But loving yourself is showing God, thank you for this time. Thank you. I choose to use it wisely.
I love it. I love it. Can we just get a big round of applause for Leigh? I hope you've enjoyed this special edition of Talking with Terry TV. As always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be the magic of you. Massive love to all of you, and we'll see you on the next show. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell to find out about my upcoming shows. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time.